So is cheating actually having sex? What about the
No,
emotional?
yeah, I
side?
think it is.
Do you think an emotional affair is cheating?
It's worse to have an emotional affair
So
than
question
a
for
physical
you
affair.
guys. If all that's going on, emotional text messages, being there for each other, but they don't consummate it and don't ever actually see each other physically and do physical things, is that still cheating?
I think so.
I think so.
Damn, y'all a tough critic.
Hey, Sozahdah sisters. Let's go.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Suspective. 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 Suspective.
Yeah.
Ever wish you could join the group chat? Well, now you can.
We're the Sozahdah sisters. Many voices, one wolf pack.
We're talking love, culture, chaos, and what it means to really be a woman today.
No filters, no fluff, just raw truth.
This is
Sispective.
All right, ladies, welcome back to the Wolfpack Chat. We've got a pretty juicy topic today. We're going to be talking about why pretty girls get cheated on. I just want to ask y'all a question. What is one reason why you think men cheat on women? Noor, what the main reason you think men cheat on women?
Validation.
Okay, Sid?
I think it's an innate thing within men that they want to spread their seed. So I think it's just something they just fucking do.
Okay.
Sometimes it's not even emotional.
building off of that. I think men cheat because to satisfy their loins, and I believe women cheat because they're lacking something.
So I read about this, and the number one reason why men cheat is insecurity. And the number one reason why women cheat is instability. So what does that all mean? Because you look at people like Beyonce and Halle Berry who have it all. These women are beautiful. They're boss bitches. They are so successful, but yet it still is not enough to satisfy, apparently, the men in their lives. Now, some of them overcome it, you know, but I personally have. I don't think I've ever been cheated on, at least not that I know, but I'm not sure what you guys think.
I mean, I think that every situation is unique as to why men cheat on their partners. I think part of it is men are constantly seeking validation, and being able to hook up with someone else would just further help soothe their insecurities. And another part of it could be, who knows, maybe you're going through, stressful times in your relationship. Maybe your partner's not the person who they used to be. It could be a number of factors, but I think that all of it has to be considered.
I don't think that your looks or you as a woman and everything you bring to the table makes you cheat proof. I think that men cheat up, down, sideways, and in delusion. I don't think that your looks and what you bring to the table secures you loyalty. Emotional maturity secures you loyalty. And a lot of these men are stuck in the emotional state of an 8th grader. You're dating or being with their inner self, their inner child. Like, men don't really ever grow up in that sense. So it's not a lack of the woman and what she's not bringing. It's more so something that's in the man that I feel like is almost primal and innate.
Mm-hmm. I think it's kind of general though, because there are some women who cheat, obviously. I think it's kind of goes both ways.
I don't think confidence is cheat proof. I don't think that there is anything that's actual cheat proof. I think the time, the situation at itself can also present opportunities where men and women can cheat. You know, there's been instances where I've been tempted to be like, oh, like your head turns, like, oh no, check yourself, don't, you know what I mean?
But that's not really considered cheating. When your head turns, you just when you.
I mean, like
that's natural.
If it kept turning, it would have cheated. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
It would have turned all the way back that way. Came back the next day.
It would have just made a U-turn.
So your head looks like a strobe light. You're like constantly clocking.
I personally, I'm not a cheater. I don't think I've been cheated on. I probably have been. It's ignorant to say that I haven't been. I just know that if he was ever caught, I don't,
We shall not talk about that.
We shall not reveal.
Yeah, we got a Scorpio in the house, by the way.
But like Shakur was saying, I think that, for example, back in the days, not to bring religion into it, the whole 4 wives, 1 man thing when it comes to religion, it was because all the men were dying off at war, and then the women were all scarce. No, yeah,
men were scarce.
Yeah, men were scarce. Women were there. They need to be provided for. So I think with time and just and just how things have progressed within in history in today's times, that women wanted to be cared for and looked after. So men innately have it within them to want to provide, want to spread their seed. Not that I'm justifying
They
it.
don't want to provide their seed. They want to
wanna
provide
provide their
financially.
They want to provide as a nut.
Yeah, and so for them, it's not always emotional. Sometimes just like they just want a different pussy. Like, you know what I mean? They just do.
So Siddiqa, have you ever cheated on a guy?
I've never cheated. What?
Don't
Okay,
strike
wait,
me
hold
down
on.
with your
Listen, I
lightning.
don't know.
Okay, I'm
she's
sorry.
asking the
When I was
question.
19, I
I said
might have
ever.
dated,
Ever's all inclusive.
I might
was
have dated
wondering.
one or two guys at the same time, but like
And then you got caught.
in my recent years, I want to honestly say, in the last decade or so, maybe even more, I haven't cheated. I'm not a cheater. I actually tell on myself. It makes me feel guilty inside. So I personally haven't cheated. Have I ever caught a man cheating on me? No. But it's not to say he hasn't cheated on me. I just didn't find out. You just don't find out sometimes.
So this is interesting. I like to read, as you know. So there's a psychologist, Dr. Nicola LaPera, sorry. And she said that we attract partners who mirror our own self-worth. Do you believe that to be true?
Yes.
Yeah, I think the energy that you put out there is obviously the energy you're going to attract and receive. So yeah, our partners can mirror ourselves. But when it comes to Shakur's example, that's not true at all. You know what I mean? When it comes to mom, that's not true at all.
The
So
antithesis.
I think it's exactly. I think that it's hard to say this is the guideline of the men that cheat
I
and
think
the
it
women that
mirrors
cheat.
the unhealed parts of yourself because you only tolerated that from your ex because of abandonment fears, daddy issues, all the stuff that we have, what we went through, and you didn't heal that. And that way, that was, even though if anyone looking on the inside saw it, they would say this is toxic. But to you, it was normal. Chaos was normal to you, and that's why you accepted it because it was comfortable to you. But anyone else looking in who's evolved, who's done the inner work, who's gone to therapy, they would be able to be like, oh, that's toxic. But you didn't know that yet. You had to learn.
But I feel like, I mean, again, it's not a one size fits all situation. There's also a broken bird complex, like mending the wings of someone else. It's not just something that you have experienced or that you were tolerant of or that you are reminiscent of the past. It's more so like when you see someone in need and help, you can't help to want to help someone and save someone if it's within your capacity to do so. My situation was more so I felt bad and I was like, how can I help? How can I save? And how can I get this person to a better place? It really, honestly, for me, I can't speak for anyone else. For me, it didn't really have to do with our upbringing, our past. It was more so innate for me and my character where I want to always help someone and find the better in them. And if I can make a difference in their life. And then I lost myself in that process. So I can't honestly correlate what you said with that doctor said, Jamila. I can only go from my personal experience.
Well, hold on there, because remember, this is not in terms of cheating, but just in relationships in general. You have always attracted addicts. Some friends, people that you want to save. And you just said that you are someone who wants a broken bird. I'm not saying that you're an addict, obviously, but that kind of goes back to like you kind of pick the same
All of
people
your friends were
to be in your life that you've helped, you've nurtured them. There's nothing wrong with that,
Yeah.
but you still attract that same energy over and over again.
I just like to help people.
How
And-
long do you think it took for you to learn you can't save someone who doesn't want to be saved?
Well, clearly it fucking took me my whole goddamn life because god damn it.
The only
I just
reason
got
why
out
you
of
were
a
saving them
situation.
was really to heal something within yourself.
I
You
think-
had
I
nobody
think
to save you growing up.
Yeah, but I
because of
think
what we went through.
Shakur
And if you
sees
think
more.
about it on a deeper psychological level, that's really what it's symptomatic of.
You know what? I want to be able to shed people grace and give them the mercy that was never extended to me. So I feel like I
What
was
I just
never
said.
given the help. I was never given the mercy and the grace. And I feel like if I have the power to do so, I want to be able to give that help to somebody else.
Shakur, I think you see more in others' night than they see in themselves. But I just want to get kind of back on the cheating thing. Like, what is the definition of cheating? Because I feel like over time, people have their own definitions of it. I'll give you an example. When I was dating some years ago, I was dating a guy that we had just become official. And I'm at dinner with him and some friends, and he has his phone out, and someone sends him a picture, like in lingerie. And I actually looked over and saw it. I didn't say a word. And it wasn't until the next day that I addressed it. Hey, I know that we just, started becoming official, but, how are you going to handle the situation? And he was like, okay, cool. We figured it out. And then maybe a month or two down the line, another picture came through and I'm like, okay, what does this mean? It's like, I can't help if people are sending me things on my text messaging. Okay, so then that means you need to revisit your contact list and let people know you're in a relationship.
But that's not cheating, though. You can't control
That's
what
why
someone else
that's why I'm
does.
asking. So what is the definition of cheating? And then fast forward,
It's acting on impulse. That's cheating. If you're able to, I mean, I don't know, a look, a glance, a flirt, I don't really take that as cheating. It's like we're human. You admire beautiful things, man and woman alike. I feel like you would be remiss to say that you don't ever see another attractive person on the planet. Like it's like fucking be an adult about it. If you can see an attractive person and respectfully be like, oh, she's pretty or oh, he's good looking, but not act on the impulse. That's what I feel like cheating is when you act on the impulse.
So is cheating actually like is actually having sex? What about the
No,
emotional
yeah,
side
I
of
think
it?
it is.
Do you think an emotional affair is cheating?
Yeah, I think cheating doesn't always have to be physical.
That's
I think
more
that,
intimate, in my opinion.
Yeah,
It
An
is.
emotional affair is far.
It
more
is,
involved
but
and
if it's
complex.
emotional, but you don't penetrate, is that still cheating?
Yes,
Yes,
absolutely.
absolutely.
emotional
100%.
affairs
Well,
can
damn.
honestly be worse than physical affairs because a guy might be out with his friends, has a little bit too much to drink, is out of the country, sleeps with a woman, and that's it. Never sees her again, never speaks to her again, goes on with his life. But if he's continuing to show emotion and take care of her and love on her, and there's texting and there's care,
That's a relationship.
That's
Without consummating it,
yeah, that's
Shakur, that's still a
cheating.
relationship. You even said
that's a relationship.
previously
That's giving
that
your
part of a
attention
relationship is having
undividedly to another
that
human.
emotional connection.
Yeah.
And that's a big part of a relationship is that emotional connection.
So-
I think it's worse to have an emotional affair
So,
than make a
question for
physical
you
affair.
guys. Do you think if all that's going on, emotional text messages being there for each other, but they don't consummate it and don't ever actually see each other physically and do physical things, is that still cheating?
I think so.
I think so.
Well,
yeah.
goddamn, y'all tough critics.
Let's ask 11 what her definition of cheating is.
I want to know.
11, what's your definition of cheating? Is emotional cheating get the same, I don't know, is it the same as physically cheating? Is cheating cheating?
Okay, babe, let's get it. From my Sispective, cheating is anything you do that would hurt your partner if they saw it.
11, you a Gen Z, baby.
That's the cleanest way to define it. It's not just sex. It's not just kissing. It's intention and energy.
Okay, so do you think being cheating on builds you or breaks you?
I think it builds you.
I
you allow
I think it does both.
allow it.
I think it can go both ways.
Mhm.
I really do. I think that, I've had friends in my life where, something like infidelity has only strengthened their relationship and has allowed them to be more vulnerable, more open, more communicative.
Judging on experiences and people around me and just what I've experienced, I think that being cheating on actually does more breaking than building. It makes you lose trust and confidence in the person that you're in the next relationship with. It brings about insecurities that you think you never had, or it creates insecurities in you. It makes you feel not worthy. It basically tarnishes what you thought a beautiful relationship was. I think that cheating ultimately does a lot more breaking than it does building.
I think you're giving cheating too much power because ultimately
Cheating is power.
Hold on,
'Cause
cheating
it breaks marriages,
but
it breaks
It does,
families,
but
it
ultimately,
ruins lives.
But ultimately, is cheating about you or is it about them? Number one, and number two, it's like I've gotten to a point. Not that don't know if I've been cheated on, but like it's not about being uncheatable. You gotta start being unshakable.
Yeah.
Like,
Right, that part.
Like you have to, and that I've learned this again. I'm a big proponent of EMDR and therapy. I didn't go to therapy because there was any infidelity in my relationship, but you learn all these little things in any type of relationship. It's like whether it's a toxic family or you're trying to whatever, I've learned that I have to, for myself, become unshakable, not to let certain things that people say affect me, certain actions people do
Right.
affect
Correct.
me.
Because
Right.
at the end of the day, a man is going to do whatever the fuck he wants, no matter how
Bingo.
amazing you are, no matter how much you do, how emotionally available you are for him. You take care of his kids, the house, everything. If he wants to cheat, he is going to cheat. So it is not a reflection of you.
So I don't want to focus and just say, oh, it's only the men that are cheating. I know. I have girlfriends that have cheated that I see cheat, and it's like, well, what the hell? So I think these days the cheating is almost equal. I think back in the day, men were cheating a lot more than women because they were the ones that had the jobs and had the secretaries, and they were out in the field of cheating. And nowadays, since everything is so split and equal, women are put in the same position that men were, and now they're cheating too. So I think men and women are cheating equally now.
I don't think men cheat on women because they're not enough. I think men cheat because they're not like enough for the commitment. And at the end of the day, like Shakur said, it doesn't really matter, what you do or say. If you're not ready to buckle down and commit then that it is what it is. And and I've had conversations with with John about commitment and this and that, and he was saying at 53 years old, he's like, I want to buckle down, and you're not gonna change a man. A man's gonna change when they want to change.
Exactly.
So, but
on a lighter note, who cheats better, men or women?
I think they both do it equally well.
I think women are better at it.
Is this speaking from experience?
No, I just think that men are so fucking. They've been doing it for so long. They've gotten used to it.
I don't know. Well, let me tell you.
By the way.
Okay,
They've
I will
gotten
say
used to it.
I
I think that men have been doing it for so long, and that they're not. They feel like a lot of men feel like they're entitled to cheat. I take care of the household. I bring the bread. I do the X, Y, and Z. It's in my culture. I'm Italian. It's in my culture. I'm Arab. It's in my culture. I'm whatever. And so they feel like it's their right to cheat. They have that right. They work hard, bring home the money. So I feel like over the years, they've just become careless with it. And a lot of cultures just accept it. People have mistresses. It's open.
I think it depends on resources.
I think that
too.
women are scareder of getting caught. I think that culture comes into play. I think that women are more sneaky and conniving with it, and they've found a better way to do it.
I think men cheat lazy.
Yeah, they cheat
And
lazy.
often.
Exactly. And
And
often.
often.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think women are better at it.
It reminds me of
That's why
kind of
none
like
of us have gotten caught. I'm kidding. All right. So, Noor, it said that men cheat down and women cheat up. What are your thoughts on that?
Bullshit.
I think for the most part that's true, but again, everything depends on. It's different on a case by case basis.
I think men cheat down to feel more in control, because if you try to cheat on a bitch like me, you got something else coming. Let's be real. Like,
I think it can come down to when men cheat, it's always more of a control, more of a physical thing. They just want to quickly bust a nut. But if a woman's going to cheat and take her time in it and not be lazy, she's like, well, why would I cheat down? Why would I just find a better looking man, a top shelf man? If I'm going to cheat, I'm going to do it correctly. So they're giving more effort into cheating.
if I'm
the
going to
women.
cheat, I'm going to upgrade.
I didn't know there was a correct way to cheating, Siddiqa. But
I didn't
thank
either.
you for
There isn't.
clarifying.
I
There
didn't
isn't,
know.
but if I'm going to do something, I'm going to give it 100%.
Or you're talking about yourself if you were to do it.
Yeah.
You.
So I would definitely cheat up. If I'm going to put all this, if I'm going to create all the drama, I
She's
might as well be worth
calculated.
the drama.
You're a calculated
I
cheater.
would calculate it if I cheated. I would not
mean-
get caught.
But why, if that's the case and you're lacking something and you're looking for something else that's better and an upgrade, quote unquote, why not just leave that and go seek that somewhere else?
I was speaking about the context of, they say men cheat down, women cheat up. I'm talking about those women that cheat up. I wasn't addressing myself. I personally, if I was in a situation where I wasn't happy, I would just leave the situation. I wouldn't
Right.
sit there and have the drama to cheat. Plus, I don't want karma to come back and bite me in the ass.
You know what? But it's also cheaper to keep her.
Why is it always that when men cheat on a woman, then you see him the next week with that same woman? Women are also a lot more forgiving with men when they cheat. But if a woman cheats or he even catches her slipping into a guy's DMs, it's the end of the world because she messaged a guy. It's the end of the world.
Just get your lick back,
So
ladies.
women-
What the fuck? It's not that hard. Just get your lip back and move on.
So I think that women are, I blame it on the constant forgiving of a man that's cheating on you. So then they get away with it and become lazy with it. You forgave me once, twice, 3 times. All right, he becomes lazy with it. So he's like, whatever, she'll forget about it.
How do we approach this from a cultural perspective? Like from your Sispective?
Culturally, from our culture,
Culturally and from our Sispective, how would you approach this?
When it comes to cheating and adultery, culturally, it's not accepted. It's called for divorce.
I that's absolutely wrong. Siddiqa, we've seen firsthand the way that we know our culture is very patriarchal. Women are seen as liabilities. They're married off young, and typically they're married off to men that they're dependent on. They're married after high school, so they don't have a college education. They can't get jobs. They get married young, pregnant, and they become dependent on this man. And because of that dependency, this man feels that he has the entitlement, the right to go and cheat, and he knows there's not going to be a consequence because where's she going to go? What is she going to do? She has 2-3 kids with him. She pays all the bills. She has no education. She can't provide for herself. We have seen this firsthand with Afghan girls.
she can go to the corner store with Billy Bob, first of all.
So-
She can do her own thing. Oh my God. It's just, you guys, people I understand everything you're saying, Noor, 100%, it's valid. People get oppressed in those situations and you become a victim of circumstance and your environment, especially when it's cultural ties. However, there's always a way to get your lick back. It's a matter, do you have the fire in you to be able to execute and get it back? Some people are complacent and
Do
be
you
like, no,
have
I deal with
somebody
it.
giving you a Sispective?
Exactly.
get it back.
Do you
That's
want to
the
get back?
difference.
Could you? Everyone can get it looked back, whether it's publicly or privately. You always have a way to get what you want. It's a matter of is it that imperative for you to have to get it back? Some women are like, nah, I'm cool. Let him do what he does. I don't care. I'll deal with this. Some women are like, no, I'll deal with it because there's a financial burden there. But you know what? I'm going to do what I want to do on the side over here. There's a way to always to rectify it within self. But at the end of the day, nobody's no one's victim. The victim mentality thing is like you can choose to be again the victim or the victor, and you can get your pound of flesh.
So how do you become a victor as a woman? How do you reclaim your power after you've been cheated on?
Well, if you want to deal with it, you get your fucking lick back. And you
How?
just don't ever let them know
How?
about
What does
it.
it mean
How?
to get
She
one's
doesn't
lick
want
back?
that. I know, I'm
I will say
asking.
this:
What does
if
it
a
mean?
woman's gonna do it, because men and women are very
That's
different
not what
when it
I'm
comes to
asking.
forgiving.
That's not what I'm asking.
How does
As
it
a
happen?
woman, after you've been cheated on, how do you reclaim your power? Because obviously, I mean, like you were just talking about right now.
Well, in Shakur's case,
imagine,
she's uncheatable because she's not in a
right?
relationship.
But if you were a woman
I
who
don't
was
play the game.
committed and you were in a relationship and you got cheated on, how would you? It's a devastating blow. Naturally, it would be. So
well, you
how
got a
would
decision. You piss on the pot or you get off. Either you want to stay with it and deal with it and work through it, or you say, not for me. I don't like it. Trust is broken and I want to go
I think
somewhere
that a
else.
way that you-
it is your choice.
You have
I
to
think
become
the way-
unshakable, like
yeah.
I said earlier.
It's your choice on what you want to do, and it's only your choice to make it. No one can make that
I don't
choice
think
for
it's
you.
about being unshakable.
I don't think it's that easy, Shakur.
I don't think it's about that
One.
entirely either.
So I guess what Shook is trying to say is like, bitch, I'm fucking me, right? Like,
Right.
I'm gonna do me, you do you. If you decide you want to step out, that's on you. I'm healed. I know what I expect in my relationship, and if you can't provide that, get to stepping.
Pretty
Gotcha.
much.
So, what are the signs of cheating?
I think it's different for everybody. I think distance is one of them. Weirdness.
Signs of cheating.
Well, we know, Sid, what do you do when you cheat?
One of my really good girlfriends just got cheated on. And some of the things that I saw as signs as cheating that she didn't clock was he wouldn't call her during the week or see her during the week. He only saw her on the weekends. And I said, well, what the fuck is he doing Monday through Friday? He would never FaceTime her. He would always just text her where he was at. He would never actually just pick up a phone call and video call with her. He never made plans with her in public. They only ever hung out at home. And so I was like, he has a whole other girl. He's not seeing you. Like, that's obvious signs of cheating.
He's living
to
a
me.
double life.
Sounds like she's the side bitch and there's a main bitch somewhere else out there.
Probably. So I think that, like Shakur said, distance. I think that maybe not wanting to go to a specific area or restaurant on a specific, I think stuff like that you read into. And also, I mean, there's a myth of, oh, when you're out and about and you put your phone down, like, you know,
I
they're
was just
cheating.
gonna mention that.
That's not true because
That's so dumb. That's not true.
I do that all the time, but I do it because I have a bitch screen, so my phone doesn't light up too much. But when it does light up, everyone, no matter what you're doing, looks at the screen if it lights up. So I do it so it's not, you know, distracting. That's why I do it. I don't know why everyone else has their phone down. I think those are signs of cheating.
I think that's like child's play. If I have to worry about
Yeah.
a guy looking at his phone if I'm at dinner, I'm like, you're just not emotionally involved. I can't relate to
Oh,
that.
I know what a
just
sign of
can't.
cheating is for me. Like, it's if someone is accusing you of cheating, you know damn well you're not cheating. It's because they're basically deflecting. And every single time I've had a sister or a friend tell me that they've been accused of cheating, I'm like, he's cheating. That's the number one sign for me.
And it's been
deflection.
true.
Or maybe he's just insecure because he got cheated on.
But for the most part, I feel like it's a deflection. I feel like they're always the one cheating.
I think that a sign of cheating is if he's gaslighting you.
Gaslighting how?
If he's making you feel like you're too much or that you're crazy for complaining about things that you're asking for the bare minimum, whether it's time, energy, it's the same effort that you're putting in. I think at the end of the day, all anyone is looking for is reciprocity, and they make you feel crazy to ask for that. And it's just a big way to just be able to manipulate you.
A sudden change in behavior, for sure. If they're not messaging you as much or calling you as much or spending as much time with you, I think that's a definitely sign of cheating.
Well, what
too.
if you've been like in a long-term relationship? Because like you're talking about cheating in context of someone that's dating or probably newly dating, maybe a guy who's dating multiple women and maybe she thinks she's in a long-term relationship with them. But like, what about in relationships? Let's say if someone's been married, you know, what are the signs of cheating? Patterns. I think if, you know, he misses birthdays, holidays, or doesn't invite you, or has a guy's trip maybe, or, you know.
Or when he starts to suddenly become too nice, too attentive.
I think also
too caring when that's not his behavior.
I think when a guy finds like a new woman in his life, if he's been in a complacent marriage or relationship, you start to see physical changes. You see him going to the gym, working out.
Better haircut.
Literally, someone is building your boo is what's happening.
100%.
Okay, someone is building your boo while you don't know it. So, yeah, I mean, because I've seen, when you watch some movies, you see it and you're like, you think, is that really how it goes down? I haven't really kept up with the pop culture on this. 11, who has recently been cheated on?
Raven Simone revealed on Jeff Lewis Live that her famous ex cheated on her and even had the nerve to ask her to be the child's godmother. And Ariana and Tom Sandoval from Vanderpump Rules, that was a big cheating scandal. Oh. Then the Coldplay concert cheating scandal with that CEO.
Well, thank you, 11.
So 11, you definitely know what the hell's going on. Tell us more about that little CEO scandal.
If you've been online or your head is buried above the ground, you will have heard about the story about this couple that was at the Coldplay concert, and when they had the jumbotron screen going around, they had it on them, and they were both. She was in front of him, they were embracing, and then they realized on the jumbotron, and then they looked like deers in headlight, and they were just like and they were just like trying to hide, and it was the most embarrassing thing. And someone did he even say like, "Oh, you guys are having an affair"? I think he even said this.
Said
he announced it to everyone at the concert. And so this now, I think the CEO is no longer the CEO of the company.
He had to step down.
And
she had to take a leave of absence.
Did you see the statement his wife put out? The statement that his wife put out, oh my gosh.
She got to the monies.
The way that she said it, she goes, I'm ascending. The statement that she put out about what happened, she said him doing that was banal. It was of a common man for him to have done that. The way that she reclaimed her power in that entire scandal, beautiful. Oh my goodness.
But here's the thing, I feel like there's a level of boldness for him to do that. That wasn't a one-time offense. This is a repeat offender behavior for you to go out in public at a public place where you can risk the exposure of being seen. You were so cavalier, like you were used to this. You were used to doing fuck-ass shit like that. So for me, he's the type of person, that was his persona. She must have known after X amount of years being married to him, this wasn't the first time. It's just the first time he brought it and he embarrassed her and brought it to the public where she's like, now I gotta address your fuck ass shit.
So I'm not sure if this is real, but I saw something online about a statement that was put out by the wife of the CEO and the whole cheating scandal. And I heard that it was formulated by ChatGPT.
Okay, now because if it was formulated by ChatGPT, does it invalidate her feelings of how she really felt any less or more? No, her feelings and her sentiments are the same. She just had a machine articulate it for her.
Yeah, does that make 11's feelings invalid?
Right, our own 11's sister. You want to invalidate 11?
Yeah.
Hey Wolfpack, it's game time. DM your questions to the podcast to have them added to the chest.
Game time.
Confession box. Share one thing you've done at work you regret. I'll share what thing I've done at work. I don't say I regret it because I always wanted to experience it. You know those like steamy scenes you see on Grey's Anatomy? You're like, one day I get to experience that. Well, I did.
Very nice.
And with the surgeon too. In the call room.
Oh no.
There's nothing sexier than seeing, this is my past, guys, okay? Just to let you guys know.
We're not gonna hold you to it, go ahead.
But there's nothing sexier than seeing like a surgeon do surgery, perform surgery, especially if you're like in the background assisting. So I was assisting in the surgery. And then afterwards, it was just kind of like, oh, that was really hot. And then somehow we were talking, he was washing his hands. I'm washing my hands.
Okay. He's scrubbing together.
He's on call. I'm on call. And then it's just like one thing led to another. And then we did it again in the library.
Wait, you guys led to one thing or another in the hospital for the first time?
In the hospital call room, yeah.
Yeah.
In the hospital call room?
Yeah.
After surgery?
After surgery.
Steamy.
It had to be a quickie because, you know, you didn't want to get
This
caught.
was your first time?
My first time.
Were you guys building up to like the foreplay?
I think there was a lot of tension being built up. You know,
I think I know who that was too.
Well, we're not going to say any names. Yeah. But
did you do it again?
I told you, once in the call room, once in the library. And then I was like, wow, I finally had my Grey's Anatomy moment. This is why I went into medicine.
Wait, may I ask why it didn't carry outside of the hospital?
Well, it was kind of like it wasn't, I wouldn't say there was some dating, but I wouldn't say it was anything serious. Because I figured he was probably doing this with a lot of people, I'm sure.
It was a fantasy, girl.
It was a fantasy. Why? It was a fantasy I had that I actually fulfilled.
Yes.
and I got to control it.
Good for
because
you.
there was no strings attached. I did what I needed to do. I basically was able to check off my box and
How was it
keep pushing.
afterwards dealing with him?
It's fine. I mean, I didn't eventually, I didn't work at that hospital anymore, and it was fine.
Mm-hmm. All righty, ladies. Find him, fuck him, forget him. Sorry.
Ladies, if you ever find yourself cheated on, don't take it personally.
Ladies, cheat before they cheat. I'm kidding.
If it really stresses you out and it gets under your skin that much that someone's cheated on you, either walk away or get your lick back. But don't piss and complain about it.
Yeah, I think it's important for women to know that being cheated on is not a reflection of their self-worth. It's really not.
sure.
No, absolutely not.
It has nothing to do with you, and it's all about them.
Mm-hmm. That's why don't forget to check on your sister. Thanks for joining us today.
Sispective.